Hey guys, welcome to my very first Q&A. As promised, I will be answering the questions that you guys sent to me on Instagram. If you do not follow me on Instagram yet, now is your chance. What are you waiting for? It's pretty lit over there, if I do say so myself. Also, thank you guys so much for getting me to 400 subscribers. I asked you to help me get to 300 in the last video. Now we're at 400. Absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much. And cheers to you. So I'm just gonna drink a little bit to help me get through these questions. They're not that bad, but a little champagne never hurt anybody, right? All right, let's get into it. First question. How is it living in Lagos? I don't live in Lagos anymore, but I would say it was okay when I did. I mean, the traffic was terrible. That's not a good experience for anybody. I don't really know how to say it. Like, Lagos is Lagos. You get what you get. Everybody there is a little mad. Everyone is definitely frustrated. There are different levels of Lagos for different types of people. Lagos is Lagos, what can I say? Do you think Lagos restaurants are a bit overpriced? Yes. There are definitely a lot of restaurants in Lagos that are overpriced. I mean, if somebody in like Kaduna was selling the exact same thing, maybe the exact same ingredients, I can guarantee you the prices would not be the same. But you also have to consider that Lagos is an extremely expensive place to live, and things cost a lot more in Lagos as well, so that's part of why everything is overpriced. But Lagos' restaurants are just overpriced because they know they can get away with it because they are in Lagos after all. Where in Canada do you live? So this is a question that I have gotten quite a bit. So this, as well as what school do I go to, I would prefer not to say for the sake of privacy. I mean, you never know what kind of weirdos are out there in the world. So just for the sake of having my own privacy, I will not be specifying what town exactly I live in and what school I go to. All you need to know is I live in Southern Ontario, somewhere relatively close to Toronto, and I will be popping in and out of Toronto every now and then. My sister does live there, although we are apparently going back into lockdown, so I don't know how that's gonna go. Stay tuned. That's some good shopping. Okay, so I'm gonna group like all of these questions together. They're pretty much the same thing. Are you doing a master's or PhD program? Are you a student? What course are you studying? What do you plan on doing with this course when you're done? So yes, I am a student. I am doing a master's program in chemistry, and I have the option of transferring into the PhD program after 2 years. Will I do that? I don't know yet. It is a possibility. What do I plan on doing with it afterwards? Well, I guess time will tell. Let's see. I mean, my specialization is in radiochemistry, which is apparently in high demand. So let's see what can happen with that. So these questions I'm also going to group together and answer as ones. Did you move for school? How was your immigration? How did you immigrate? And like, did you go through the study route? Yes, I did. I am a student here in Canada. My school is here in Canada, and I am here on a study permit. That is how I immigrated to Canada. What motivated you to start a YouTube channel / what inspired you to start a YouTube channel? So I was looking for a creative outlet. I was bored at home. When I had the idea of starting this channel anyway, I was bored at home. I was having problems getting my visa, which I will get into as a student, which is a story I'll get into later on in this video. And I was bored at home, and I just wanted to do new things. And I figured starting this channel would also give me a reason to be more outgoing and do more things that I wanted to do, because then I wanted to film it for my vlog and would be able to, start it, as well as also wanting to document my journey of moving to Canada and settling in and how that would go. So that's part of why I started this channel. Just just to give me something to do that was creative, because I like to think I have a creative side to me. I'm not just a scientist. I do like to think I have some creativity in me, and I wanted to explore that. So that's why I started this channel. How did you meet Bae? He slid into my DMs. If you ask him, his story might be just a little bit different, but don't ask him. Okay, so these two questions I'm also going to answer in one, which is, what are your thoughts on long distance relationships, and how are you managing being in a long distance relationship? So yeah, my relationship since I moved to Canada has now become long distance. So what are my thoughts? Let me start on what are my thoughts on a long distance relationship. I definitely don't think that they're for everybody. If you are the kind of person that cannot really deal with distance and being away from your partner for too long, as well as the time difference that may or may not be involved with that, depending on where in the world the two of you are, don't do it. And also 100% do not do it if you and your partner do not have a plan. I do not believe in entering a long distance relationship just to see where it goes. I think you guys should definitely have a plan on so and so time we will end up together in so and so place. There has to be an end goal, otherwise what are you really doing? Like, you're just kind of punishing yourself at that point. So that is my opinion on long distance relationships. Don't do it unless you have a plan, and also don't do it if you're the type of person that knows you're not going to be able to, even if you do have a plan, if you know you're not the type of person that's going to be able to deal with that distance, just don't do it. So how am I managing? Well, I won't lie to you, it's tough. Especially because one of my love languages is quality time, so being away from him it's hard. I won't lie, it's hard, and we are going to be away from each other for quite some time. So really, it's all about communication, making sure that you guys are talking frequently, making sure that, you know, you're always there for each other regardless, so that their physical absence isn't as huge, because they are still present, very much present in your life through communication. I mean, we have phones, like we can instant message each other, we can FaceTime. There's all these things that you can do. So there are ways around it, but we do have a plan. So we're not just in it just to be in it, but we do have a plan. So it's just getting to that part of the plan is a little bit hard, but we will overcome. So also my boyfriend is also a YouTuber. Check him out. He does tech reviews. He has a pretty dope channel, and I think that you guys might enjoy that as well. So check him out. Is YouTube something you see yourself doing for a long time, or not side hustle? So YouTube for me is currently a side hustle. I don't know about I mean, I do want to do it for a long time. I do believe I can do it for a long time, but it definitely is going to be a side hustle. I am first and foremost a scientist, and that is my main objective, especially as a student. My course is very, very research intensive, and it does take a lot of my time. So that's why I only post once a week, because honestly, with all the ideas I have in my head, I could post multiple times a week, but I just don't have the time because my studies are taking up so much of my time. So it's definitely something that's gonna have to stay on the side for now. Okay, so these questions, I'm not really sure how to answer them. So all of them are in one, and all of them have the same answer, which is, I just got here like a few weeks ago, and I've spent the majority of that time in isolation. I was in isolation for 2 weeks, and then I have been basically by myself since then, because Canada is technically still kind of on lockdown, so things aren't open. No one's really interacting with each other all that much, apart from like the necessities. So I don't have much of an opinion on them just yet, because I have spent a majority of the time here by myself. I live alone, and I live in a separate town from my sister as well. So I just don't have much of an opinion, to be honest. I don't do much. Literally, I have not left my building in 3 days. So I'm afraid I don't have much of an opinion on these things. I'm sorry to tell you. You would be more like, you would get a better answer if you asked someone who had been here for longer especially people that were here pre-COVID, because during COVID there's not that much that you can get from it. So I'm afraid I don't really have much of an answer to those questions. I'm sorry. What is your favorite cocktail? I wouldn't say I had a favorite cocktail. Also, I am drinking just champagne at the moment. But I wouldn't say I had a favorite cocktail. I have cocktails that I like. One of my current favorites is gin and tonic, specifically an elderflower flavored gin with grapefruit flavored tonic. What's up? Oh, it is amazing. I have been drinking it almost every day. It's what's been keeping me as I am all by myself. But yeah, that's currently one of my favorites. Oh, also, I do like a good margarita. I do like a good margarita. And if it's a flavored margarita, I also do like mango. And red wine sangria, yes. I'm just like listing drinks at this point. Yeah, I would say those are my favorites for now. Why are you so fine? Just go, dude. When are we getting a skincare routine video? So if that's something you guys actually want, let me know. Drop it below in the comments and let me know if it's something that you guys want. I will definitely get into it and have one for you in the next few weeks. So just let me know if you're interested in that. Amazon. Why Canada? So actually I kind of want to do a separate video on this, which is basically like how my grad school applications went, because I did apply to schools in America first before deciding to apply to Canada. But part of my reason for applying to Canada is because their immigration is a lot easier than America's. Especially during the Trump era, America was not very immigrant friendly. So I wanted to go to a country where I knew that once I was done with school, I would not have to scramble to try and figure out a way to stay. It's a lot easier to find a way to stay in Canada than it is in America. So that's part of why I chose Canada. But I think I will do a whole video on like my grad school applications and how that went, because that is a whole story. Like my grad school application took me 2 years to do. Yeah. But it ends it ends in a pretty inspiring way, so I think it's an interesting story to tell. Comment down below if you want me to tell it, and I will. Tell us about your Canadian immigration experience. So I had the unfortunate luck of applying just before the lockdowns happened last year in March. So my admission originally for my school was May of 2020. So I applied for my visa in February of 2020, just before the lockdowns happened, like 2-3 weeks just before the lockdowns happened. And because of that, for some reasons, it seemed like they put everyone that applied like a month or so before the lockdowns, as well as during the lockdowns, they put all of our applications on hold. Or I don't know what they did, but they just kind of like moved them to the side basically and just did not answer any of us. Like I put in my application February of 2020 and I did not get my visa until February of 2021. Like literally that is like, it took, like it was so close to hitting a year. Like my application went in February 28th of 2020 and I got my response back February 3rd of 2021. Like it was absolutely ridiculous. I was emailing, I was calling everybody that I could call. I didn't have any connects. I couldn't find anybody with connects to find out what was going on. I just did not know what was happening. My sister was able to call someone in the Canadian embassy here in Canada, and they said they couldn't do anything about it because my application was not being processed in Canada, so I would have to find out where it was being processed and call them. But she was able to tell me that my application was apparently being processed in Kenya, so I should call the Kenyan office and let them know. I had a friend in Kenya and I had her call them and ask them like, what's up? And they were like, oh, just tell her to email us because we can't answer these questions over the phone. So I emailed, they didn't respond. She called them back and they were like, oh, that's odd. Like we usually respond very quickly. Tell her to email us again. So I emailed them again and then they didn't even reply. I just got the, your visa has been accepted, please send in your passport. And I was like, what? And then, so basically the date that they put on your visa when you get it is not the date that they printed it, but rather the date that your visa application was accepted. And my visa, the date on my visa said April of 2020, meaning they had finished my application since April of last year, but I did not get it until this year. So yeah, that was my Canadian immigration experience. It was quite the experience indeed. So yeah, that was fun. That was very fun. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please comment below and let me know that you did. I kind of like this actually. I like the sitting down and talking vibe. I want to do this again. Like I said, I'm thinking about doing a video on my grad school applications and the experience of going through all of that. So if that is something you are interested in knowing about, please let me know. If there are other topics you want me to talk about as well, let me know and I will look into doing those. But yeah, so thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe to this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and I will see you guys in the next video.